Good morning, YouTube. This is Jim Pierce, Jim of All Trades. Glad you're with me on my channel. Today we got a huge video. It's going to be really, really important. We come at Litecoin and Bitcoin and what they're doing. I want to talk about some pretty amazing things that I think are probably against what everybody's feeling right now, and I want to tell you why I think that. I'm also I want to really cover how to know when you should cut a trade, and here I have an example of where I called a trade out yesterday in the Litecoin swing trading community, and it was a good breakout, it was a good trade, but if you stayed in it and then that this price just came against you, and now the price has gone against you. The question is, what do you do with that? Do you get in? Do you get out? Do you stop it? Is it going down? Is it going up? Is there anything you can use? Any criteria? Can Elliott Wave help you know what to do with this trade? So these things we want to go into because a lot of you are you've bought at higher prices and price goes lower, and I've gotten questions from people asking me, well, what should I do? I mean, should I hold on to it? Should I just go ahead and cut my losses now? What do I do? So this is a big time video. I hope it helps you. Let's just start with my disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm sharing with you how I spend my money, but I'm not telling you how to spend yours. Okay? So there we go. Let's get into the charts. Glad you're with me. First off, let's just look at where I think Bitcoin and Litecoin are, and just let you know big time counts here. I'm probably gonna have some notifications coming up on my screen. Sorry, it'll be what it is. Let me get rid of this chart here. There we go. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. So I'm on the 4-hour chart right now, and I want to show you something and talk about something that we should really consider. So let's consider this. We had price come up, and then we've come down for this diagonal structure, and it is it's hard to make out exactly. Is this an ABC? It's got to be corrective, but it could be motive, but it most likely is corrective. But man, it's really hard to tell what's going on here because it's really an odd shape. But let me give you the two scenarios, because if this is motive, when we say motive, what we mean is if it is going in the down direction now, if price already reversed on Litecoin, it's going down. That means that this is a one wave. It's going to be followed by a two wave, right? And then we're going to be coming down for 3, 4, 5. We're going lower from here, okay? Or this is an A wave. It's going to be followed by a B wave, and then we're going to have a C wave. Uh, you know, Either way, that would be corrective as well. So it's just really hard to tell what's going on. And so what we have to look at a couple of things. I want to share with you a couple of things I'm looking at to try to identify what that is. Number one, when we came down here, okay, and then we shifted, we've got what looks like on the 4-hour chart a three-wave structure. That is generally corrective, though it's coming in a motive fashion. It really came in a quick fashion. So this could be a motive wave. It is. What's got me confused and what's got me troubled, and I'm just going to be watching price, and I want to let you know of the trouble I'm having, okay, is this triangle right here. Triangles generally only form in B waves and in 4 waves. Okay, so if that's the case, what that means is that this looks very three wave-ish. So the question becomes, is this A, B, and a C? You say, why does that matter? Because if that's corrective and that's A, B, C, we're coming down. Okay, we're coming down for 5 more waves, whatever that size looks like. So that's a question. But what if it is? What if it's a 4 wave instead? That means what we've got here is, let me go down to a different time frame here so you can see. And these are the questions I have, and this is what I'm going to be watching for. What you have then is you've got a very, very extended 5th wave. Okay, so this would actually, the count would be, this would be 1, 2, this is 3, all that was 4, and then we had an extended 5th wave. Okay, and that, listen guys, that's a possibility, and that's probably what it is, because again, this looks too motive to me. This looks too straight up, and I'm feeling actually more convinced of that as I talk it out with you a little bit. I've been going back and forth over it. So the question is, what do the fibs tell us? Okay, what do the fibs tell us? So we say that this is a 1 and a 2, you can see how this wave came up to the 1618. That indicates that's a good 3 wave. Okay, then to measure the 5th wave, what we do is we come to the 4, then the top of the 4, um, and then we measure that. Now, generally, a 5th wave comes up to the 618, but we've got an extended wave, and so it actually came up to here. And you can see the 5 waves of that 5th wave. I don't know if you can see that with me, but you learned to subcount here. We got the final low here. We had the push. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we had our 5th wave right there. So there it is. That's probably the count for Litecoin. Okay, so that means we are coming down for an ABC correction, which is really fantastic. That's going to give you a deal to buy in here. So we're getting ready for a trade. Okay, we're preparing. We're watching this chart to see a trade. Now, what we should be expecting to see then, if that count is correct and this is done, we should see an a B, and a C. Okay, something like that. This B could come up here. This C might not even come all the way that low. In fact, let's look at the structure over here. We've got 2 places of structure for that for that thing to land. So let me put some structure in my chart. I'm going to be doing a trading minute on structure and sharing that, and so that'll be important for you. So there's some 2 places for it to land. We need to see this pullback before we can get our entry point for what wave C is going to be looking at. So anyway, we'll address that trade as it comes. Now, what if you're in the excuse me? What if you're in this trade and you need to know whether if this is coming down like this, should you get out now? Well, that's a possibility. But for me, I want to minimize my loss. Okay, so if I minimize my loss, I want price to come back. So let's just assume, in the sake of this scenario, that you got in right here for this 5th. You were trading this 5th wave, and you expected price to go up higher. In fact, I did as well. I was expecting it to come up to the structure. It didn't. So when it started pulling back, I expected one more push up. It didn't do it. It just started coming down. The trade went against us. We didn't stop it out because we didn't have good trade management, which is very, very important. That's coming in a later video. But so what do you do? What do you do with that? Well, here's what you do. First off, you need to expect to see 5 waves coming down for A, 3 waves for B, 5 waves for C, or 5 waves and 3 waves if this is a 1-2. So if it's an AB, you should be either 3 or 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves. So this pullback right here is where we want to be looking for our exit. So we're going to have to wait out a little bit of some psychology, okay? We're going to have to wait that out just a little bit. And see. Now, let me give you some things that I'm looking at to know when this pullback is going to happen, and I think it's coming. Number one, I've got structure right here, okay? So that means I've got this structure line that's going to provide resistance for this price, and you can see right now that price is starting to resist this price level right now, but it's still coming down. Secondly, I'm going to look at my RSI, and I'm going to ask myself, do I see any divergence? Well, there is no divergence here, okay, on the 1-hour chart. But if I zoom in just a little bit on the 15-minute chart, you'll notice something pretty interesting. Right here, you got this low right here, right? So let's draw a line from here. So I'm going to get my tool. There we go. Draw a line from there to there. Now let's draw a line from here to here. Get off my screen. There we go. Now you can see it. What do you notice? What are you seeing? The RSI is going up while price is going down. Now listen, that divergence can be wiped out. Okay, how does divergence get wiped out? Well, divergence gets wiped out if a strong move to the downside happens. Okay, so if a strong move to the downside happens, what's going to happen with this RSI is that this is going to start coming down as well. Which what's going to happen is that's going to put your lines like this. Your line's going to end up like this now, and then this line will actually go wherever that lands, right? So anyway, our divergence would wipe away. Okay, so that's critical that we understand that. But right now in the 15-minute chart, we've got some divergence. That means on the 15-minute time frame, we should be expecting a bit of a reversal here. I'm looking for a bit of a reversal. So is there anything in the wave count that would help me know that if this is going to reverse or not for us? I don't know, guys. But let me tell you. I don't know anything for certain. Okay, but what I want to do is say yes. I think we're going to see a corrective wave coming here. Let me show you what I'm seeing. Number one, this long wave right here is indicative of a three wave. When you see a long wave like that, you just need to be thinking in general. This is probably a three wave. Okay, it could be a three wave of a greater wave, and it will be. Or it could be the macro. Just depends on what time frame you're counting in. So that's telling me that's probably three. So if I were to count this wave, we've probably got something like this. We've got one, we've got two. This is three. This whole thing came up for four, and now we're making five waves down, probably to the structure point for the fifth wave. Okay. So I'm looking for five waves in here, and it looks like we're getting them. So we've got one, two, three, four, and this is making probably the fifth wave. I'm guessing we're going to come down here, touch, and then we're coming back up. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So that would put it in the ultimate count. This whole thing would be a one wave or an A wave. So this would be one. We're coming up for two, and then we're coming down. So on this retrace, if our entry point was right here, right? So let's draw an arrow from here. If we entered on this triangle and we're trading that move, and that was a good little move to trade for a small trade, then here's where price is. Okay, so when price gets back up to around my target, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out for break even because we have no guarantees it's going to go higher. It could. And if you want to risk it, you can wait it out. But listen, what I usually do if price goes against me and then it comes back, one of my rules for trading is I get out. That wasn't my trade. I failed. We need to get out for little loss as we can. I'm going to turn my phone off, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just got too many people trying to talk to me right now. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to come down here. Maybe it could be done, and then we're coming up now. So I'm looking for three waves up, regardless of whether it's a two wave or a B wave. So I'm looking for something like this. Okay, that's what we're looking for. It may not look. It's not going to look exactly like that, but certainly you can. You can guess it's going to be a wave to the upside. Let's plan on it retracing somewhere, to the 50% mark right here. So this is a good bet that it's going to retrace to the 50% mark of this entire move. Okay. All right. So that's what we're looking for. This is how we save a trade. And hopefully you can save that trade. Hopefully that helps anybody that might have entered or is still in it and wondering whether they should get out. I'm expecting, as far as this count is concerned, I'm expecting A, B, C down. That's good news for those of you who want to trade. If you're still holding, you can still hold. You can continue holding, but if you're out and you're looking for an entry point, look for a wave to retrace somewhere down here to the structure, which brings me to just another little point here that we talked about triangles. Well, descending wedges often will break out of, so in this larger descending wedge here, it'll break out and then retest it. On that retest is your entry point, and so that's what it's exactly setting up here. So we've really got a good move to the upside, expecting a two wave here, and then we're going up. We're going up, and it's going to be big, and it's coming soon. So, listen, get excited. It's probably coming. Now, always be ready for the bear scenario, okay? Be ready for the bear scenario. If this is an ABC and price breaks, let me just tell you, this is how you're ready. If price breaks this low right there, we're going down, okay? There's just no doubt about it. There's our confirmation. If price comes down and when we break this low, you need to be thinking we got more down to go and looking for an exit point potentially if you want to save your capital. Okay, let's just take a look at Bitcoin as well, really quickly. Do we have any confirmation in that chart? We absolutely do. I think we've got 5 waves done in an ending diagonal. We've hit our trend line up here. We have hit structure here. We should be coming down for a retest. Okay, so there's with everything I just said in Litecoin, there is a confluence and confirmation happening in Bitcoin as well. So I don't know what that. I don't know what that correction is going to look like, but it's probably going to be, fairly substantial. So we've got to be ready for it. Okay. Yeah, on the 1 hour chart here, you can kind of see we have a looks like a triangle being formed. I don't think it is. It's triangular in shape, but it's not a triangle. I think what we're going to have is it's going to. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. Let me go to maybe the 30-minute chart, and that might be more helpful. There we go. Sorry, guys. Just let me zoom in here so you can see. Sometimes manipulating the chart's a pain. See this trend line here? If this trend line holds, then it may indeed form a triangle, but most likely this is going to break. We might come up here and it's going to break and it's going to fall over. When you see price fall over, you know one of those big massive candles or a larger candle is coming. So that's that's Bitcoin's modus operandi. That's the way it functions. Whenever we have this slow movement, methodical movement like this, and it's hugging a trend line, that is a good telltale that Bitcoin's getting ready to take a dive. Okay, all right. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I'm expecting correction here. As the correction plays out, I'll give you a video tomorrow. You're not going to miss anything as the correction comes out. If something needs to be said, I will post a video, and if you see me post a video later on today, then you'll know that it's important to watch. So make sure you hit the notification bell on my channel. Make sure you're subscribed and like this video. This is I just gave you a lot of great information. Not bragging. I'm just saying this was critical. I wish I knew and understood these things so much when I was beginning to learn to trade, because I've lost so much money learning to trade. And I want to help you not to lose that kind of money as you learn to trade. I'm doing this free of charge. The way you can pay me back is just like, subscribe, comment, share your comments below. Just give me some encouragement. Somebody put a comment in there. Okay. Hey guys, thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you later.